If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff from that'sgoodenough4me.com, and this is episode 2 of our podcast, Almost Punk Enough. I think we may have jumped the gun on using a song, part of a song for a title track last time, so we're going to skip that today, but maybe we'll get to use it again in the future. With me today is editor Bad Dad.
How we doing? So I'm Bad Dad, and I'm pretty excited to get into this here today.
Yeah, we have we just finished up the Knicks game? Is that happening? Oh yeah,
it did just finish up. I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay, yes. Although when we were in the green room before this, I was commenting how I don't follow basketball that much and professional basketball, like not at all, and I saw there's a team called the Thunder, and I'm like, who the fuck are they? Like, half these teams I don't recognize the names, and I guess that just means I'm really, really out of it. But I do follow college sports more than the professionals, so I think that may be where Bad Dad and I align a little bit. So today we've got some great things coming up, including an interview later. But first, we're going to go over some of the features and news that we've got at the website, both previously published and already ready for you to read, and stuff that's upcoming. First off, we've got a lot of interviews, a lot of written interviews, and Bad Dad kind of handles a lot of those. So I'd let him talk about some of the ones we're just about winding down, and some of the ones we got coming up.
So we're actually in the middle of a run of series based on different festivals that are going on. So last week we finished up the Midwest Friends Festival, which is taking place right outside of Cincinnati in Newport, Kentucky. One of my best friends is the one organizing it, so I'm super into this one. With that, we got to do interviews with Middle Out, with Signals Midwest, Manor Gates, quite a few other acts. There's a total of 28 bands that we were able to work in interviews for over the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
And then this week, we're actually in the middle of a reunion show that's pretty near and dear to my heart. It's the 25th anniversary for the Derby Firehouse, which is a firehouse in South Jersey, where they put on tons of shows. MXPX played there. Obviously, all the Jersey greats, the Lane Myers, the bigwigs, they all came through, and then they're putting on theirs. It's a one-day reunion, pretty much all day, on June 7th, and it's going to have Simple Mischief, Take Today, Showers with Goats, Your Mom Will Love Us, Go Real Slow, Boxcar, Humble Beginnings, and Catch 22. Out of all of those bands, Catch 22 is probably the only one that's been playing fairly regularly. So it's pretty exciting to get to see Boxcar for the first time since I was in high school. Humble Beginnings for the first time in 15 years. Really looking forward to those two sets specifically. And we have interviews with a couple of those acts that are coming up. So we have the sponsor, Safe Scene NJ, which is kind of like Punk Rock Saves Lives, just more localized. We've already run their interview, as well as Shower with Goats, and we still have Take Today, Simple Mischief, and hopefully Humble Beginnings coming up. And then it's time for our third year straight doing the Camp Pennsylvania interviews.
Yeah.
Which has always been one of my favorite things to get to work on, because you discover many new bands when it's a festival as big as them. This year they've got the headliners Dillinger 4, Lawrence Arms. Scowl's going to be there, which I'm looking forward to. Beef was one of the best shows best sets last year. Suburban Downgrade has been there all 3 years. No Compliance has been there all 3 years. Carbon Parade all 3 years. And all three of those are just some of the best sets that I've seen in the last 3 years.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to all three of those, as well as obviously all the headliners.
Now, I know based on your location, do you think you'll be able to make it down? Are you going down to Midwest Friends Fest or?
I am not going to make it to
Yeah,
Midwest Friends Fest this year.
you know.
I will be at the other two though, so I will be at the Derby Firehouse reunion, which
Mhm,
again it's the pop punk festival and it's taking place in Pennsylvania, oddly enough.
mhm.
And I'll be going back out to Pennsylvania for the Camp Pennsylvania for all 3 days of that.
Cool. I realized that Jared, who writes for us reviews occasionally, he's now recently relocated, I think, to Cincinnati. I should reach out to him and see if he wants to cover that. Um, the yeah, Camp Pennsylvania, that's been a really great and fun one for us. We kind of got in on the ground floor with that festival, and every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and your interviews have been just top notch, great stuff every year. So I'm really excited with all those coming up. We've already got the interview with co-founder Laura Rose, and another one I think just went out today, right? You said that?
No, we haven't
No.
started running them yet. They go out next week. So Laura
Okay.
Rose will be next week. We have Vulture Raid has been sent back to us. Seeing Snakes just came back today.
Okay.
I've got a couple more that look like they should be back by the end of the by the end of this week.
Okay. I think I confused when I complete the graphics with
Yep.
when they go out. So I'm like, I push the graphic out to you, and then I'm like, it's probably going to go live tomorrow, and it's not the case. That's awesome, and that Derby Firehouse one sounds really really great. It makes me think of like if there was like a Fireside Bowl reunion in Chicago, because Fireside Bowl was the same kind of thing, like a bowling alley where you could only stand like where you would normally stand. You can't go on the lanes, and it was a great place, and that's where a lot of bands, Chicago got their start, but a lot of bands came through. I saw Lagwagon there, NoFX in '94. With NoFX, it was face to face opening, slapstick opening. So it's
Oh,
like
nice.
it would be like one of those things. And I know at Riot Fest last year, they had like a I don't know what scale. Like you could walk into it, but it was a scale version of the Fireside Bowl, like
Oh, that's
at
awesome.
Riot Fest. So that's really cool. So yeah, lots of interviews coming up, and they will all be great. We're going to talk about some recent news that we've published on the site before we get to our interview. First, I'd like to talk about some of the reviews that we've had go out. Tom Trauma, who also is one of the two people behind Punk Till I Die podcast, check him out, recently saw Max Sabbath and Angry Samoans live at Elevation. So he's written us a review of that live event. Reviewer Alex Dragonetti put out a review of I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but it's called probably Fusilier, like kind of like Fusilier is the, I guess, old French word for gun rifle people. But this is a kind of like psych rock band made up of Russian expats who fled Russia to avoid getting drafted for their war of aggression on Ukraine. So it's a great review. Not entirely my type of music, but the review made me think like, oh wow, I still want to check it out. Lori D also put out a review of the new Violets album, which came out earlier this month. That features members of Naked Raygun, the Methadones, and others. That's kind of like a super group. So she's got a review for that, and they're all good reads. And we're going to talk about a release. There are a couple of releases we've done, but this one's near and dear to my heart. Chicago punk band The Usuals just put out their LP At the Gates of the Second City. And the reason it's near and dear to my heart is because I did all of the cover art and the layout for the album. And it's basically all Lord of the Rings themed. So it's very geek-tastic.
It looks great. Yeah, you posted it probably 3 days or so ago.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool. Immediately, it was something that drew my interest.
Yeah, it's funny because I've worked. So Kurt is the lead vocalist, kind of like the driving force behind the band, and I've worked with him on a lot of projects since. But we actually started like the germination of this project in 2021, like in the middle of the pandemic, and it's finally come to life as an album, and the album artwork is now tied into music that I don't, if I recall correctly, a lot of the songs weren't the ones that they originally were going to put on. So that's pretty cool, and I enjoyed that. Um, for news wise, we've got some new music and videos out recently. Uh, Bankrupt, which is a band from Hungary, they're kind of like a melodic punk band in the vein of maybe Millencolin. You know, some of their songs are very melodic, some of their songs are a little more poppy. But what I really like about this band, and I feel I have to mention it every time we write about them, is that they always do two versions of their songs. One is in English, and one is in their native tongue of Magyarul. Uh, and so this new song is Zebra, which I think the only reason it's the same name is because it's a borrowed word from another language. But usually the songs have a different title based on the English or the Hungarian, and they have to change up the lyrics, but keep the same rhythm of the song. So it's really cool, and I really enjoy covering them. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So with them, how do they do their touring? So if they go to an English speaking country, is it just the English version? Do they alternate how they're doing that? Do you know?
I do not know. That's a really good question. As long as I've been following them, I haven't seen any significant touring. So that's a good question. Maybe we can get them on the pod and ask them.
Sounds good.
If you're listening, Bankrupt, reach out to us. Uh, we've also got a new single and video from OK Cool, who have announced a new album. The single and video is called. Do you want to take this one? I have a hard time pronouncing it. Oh,
Wawaziwa?
wow.
Wawawi?
Yeah. Wa
No,
wa woo
Wawuwiwa.
wa woo wee wah. Yeah. It's an awesome song. I really really dig it. The video's fun.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And yeah, so that's I think that's going to be a good one. Okay, cool. I'm trying to recall back. This is a follow up to something, but I can't remember what it is.
They put something out. I want to say it was in 2023. They're from Chicago. Last year they were actually on the inaugural Midwest Friends Fest, which we did that interview series with. As soon as I heard them from that, I kind of fell in love. So I think that they're really just delightful indie rock. Just kind of swells in all the right places when they play.
Yeah, I felt the same too. I think it's fun stuff. I think it was good. So yeah, you know more about it than I do. I just think about the music. Humor, UK band, has their third single and video out from their upcoming album, and the song is called Memorial. Now I wrote about this one, and it starts out the lead guitar that kind of leads into the song. It's kind of like, expected. I want to say the word pedestrian, but I think that's intentional because when the other guitar comes in, it does something so different that it really piques your interest. And I think the video is really, really interesting and really, really creepy. It's almost always a side view of the lead singer running down a sidewalk, running away from something. And will you find out what he's running away from? You'll have to watch the video and find out. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that one, Ed.
I have not had a chance to check that one out yet.
It's a good one.
It's no Franca Potente though, right? It's not no Run Lola Run there.
No, it's not.
There is some resolution. Good.
There is. In fact, I wouldn't call it resolution, but there's something at the end.
All
Whether
right.
or not it's resolved, we'll find out. And lastly, or almost lastly, penultimate, we have. I don't know how to pronounce this. I've read too much Terry Pratchett, so I always pronounce this character name wrong. So Igor, with 3 R's. This is a French multi-instrumentalist and producer who is putting out his 5th album, Amen, in September via Metal Blade Records. And he basically does a lot of the stuff, but he brings in guest musicians. He's got this new song from the album, which is called, what is it, Boom Blast Beat Falafel. And it features Trace Bruance from Mr. Bungle and a couple other session musicians. And it's a goofy song. It may not be to everyone's liking. It's very technical, but the video is really, really funny. And I think if you watch it, you'll see the parts I'm talking about. You'll know that there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor to this. And I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the musicianship on that one. In terms of it stylistically, it's not really up my alley. I'm more of a cry yourself to sleep, pop punk kind of whiny sad boy. Um, but musically, I was extremely impressed by just the technicality of the whole thing.
Yeah, I was surprised, and I was trying to keep track of how many different instruments Trey Spruance plays in the video, because I saw something that looks a bit like a saz, which is like a Mediterranean guitar. There's a weird goofy one, I can't tell what it is, but he multi-tracks a bunch of different instruments, and it's pretty impressive. And last but not least, Reckoner, which features former Bad Cop Jennie Cotterill, put out a new single just the other day, Photo Booth. I really like what this band is doing. She's a blast to talk to. And on that note, I actually did get to sit down and chat with her for a little bit about an interview, or about some things with an interview, which we're going to switch over to in just a moment. And we'll see you after the break. Hi, everyone. This is Jeff again, and we are now here with Jennie Cotterill.
Yeah.
Of Reckoner. They've just put out another great new song, Photo Booth. This morning when I was walking my daughter, she's 13, to school, we split the headphones and checked it out, and she really liked it. So you have at least two fans in this household.
Cool.
So how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm a teacher and I just turned in all my grades.
Mm,
So, yeah, I feel really good right now.
yeah, this is a crazy time of the year then for you.
Yeah. Last week was like finals week, and then the first show we've played since November.
Okay.
And this song came out. I just like forgot how to promote things. So it was like I felt like kind of a secret.
Oh,
Yeah.
no problem. So what grades do you teach?
I teach at Cal State University Long Beach. So I teach like in the illustration program.
Okay.
So these people are like I had actually had a freshman. I've never had a freshman before this semester, but mostly like juniors and seniors,
Okay. So are these people who like they're primarily, many of them, like leaning towards art, but they would take some more basic classes below you until they get to your course?
Yeah, so in our school, you have to be an art major to take an art class. So they're all art majors, and then most of them are like illustration majors specifically, but um, yeah, or
Okay.
animation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. We
yeah.
I I draw, I illustrate, not super professionally, but I was at a convention just the other weekend, and there was an illustration. She got her degree in illustration, and she was there. She's selling little resin 3D printed characters for D&D, but they're all
Oh,
birds. So there's the Krog kind of thing, and
okay.
they're all really like I bought one of each of them from her. They're the best thing. So it's like we're talking about her cool school experience and her university experience, and it was really cool. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Yes. So you do have a new song, Photo Booth.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really like it. I've really liked everything that Reckoner's put out so far. So
Thank
I think that's you're doing really well on that. And I think it's good stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about the song, because it seems really emotional and there's a lot of memory involved with it, a lot of past loves, and in a way it's kind of heartbreaking. the lyrics.
Yeah.
So my daughter's listening to it. She's like, "Is she sad?" I'm like, "She's
Most of the time, a little
yeah."
bit.
So like, what can you tell us about the like the genesis of Photo Booth, the song?
Well, first of all, I love that you shared this with your daughter, and I also kind of love that you picked all of that up because, and I think, I also thank you for listening to all the songs. I feel like they've been very different, and it's been fun talking to people because there does not seem to be a consensus on what everybody likes, which I really am having fun with. Like some people will be like, I don't get this one, but I really like this one, and I will get a completely different answer from somebody else, you know?
Right.
Um, so this, so I moved out of this place that I lived for like more than 15 years last year. And so I was like just sifting through like eons of my life, and there is like a shoebox full of photo strips and like printed photos, um and it is like some of it's friends. It's just like this is where they go, you know, and I like found the box moving and was like, damn, crazy. This is like I don't keep track of things, but this box sure does. And like I also was like uh I've been like kind of not kind of I've been single for like 2 years, 2.5 years or something, and I was at first like, you know, it'll be fine. I'll figure it out. I'll like hit a groove, and then like I was just like, oh no, I definitely will not hit a groove. This is like not. I don't think this is like something I'm gonna do maybe anymore. And then yeah, having this like box and that kind of feeling at the same time was like it did make me think about it, you know, where I was just like, will there literally ever be another photo like this?
Yeah.
um but I have to say, surprisingly, I do have somebody I'm dating that's very cool that I'm like, I just did not think I would be into anybody kind of ever again. And I forced him to take that photo for the cover with me.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna
Like,
ask, is that like you in the photo
yeah,
booth?
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
how funny that like this, you know. And of course, we got a photo strip out of it, but yeah. So
Awesome.
kind of an
Awesome.
interesting little circle on that, but
Yeah, I like when we listened to it. So we listened to it, and that was that was like my fourth or fifth time, but her first. So we like kind of.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
After we were done, we kind of broke down some of the parts, and like one of the things that came out was like this is like this doesn't seem like it's a song that's just coming from like the imagination or like a sympathetic point of view. Like it seems very empathetic. Like this is a lived experience, and so I think that's what's kind of good about it is you can tell there's heart behind it. Um,
thanks.
so it was and it's just like every song so far with Reckoner, it's really well put together and it's really memorable and catchy. So I'm really excited by that. I know you guys came through the Bay Area, which is where we're at now, on like a mini tour of all the little towns along the Bay recently, and I wasn't able to make any of the shows because we had some family stuff going on, and I was really bummed about that.
Well,
But
we weren't able to make them either.
oh, you didn't?
So
Oh,
don't
didn't
worry
you?
about it. Yeah.
Oh, well, then a good thing because yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like yeah, we had to head out of town. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so like hopefully I'll get to see you soon.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so on that note, like you've been kind of delivering these songs. What is coming up for Reckoner in the future? Do we have anything lined up yet, or are you still just kind of taking it slow and steady?
Uh, um, well, we're going to Punk Rock Bowling. We're playing on Monday. So that's this weekend. I don't know when this is going to come out, but So that was really unexpected and I think exciting. I didn't think that was something I would do again. Um, and the guys have never been, which is very cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to share that with them.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think like most things that have happened in the last couple years, it's like I had an idea of how this was going to go, and like it has been very surprising, like how it has decided to do things on its own. Like we've only played I think four shows, but we've like booked like a dozen. You know what I mean? We
Okay.
were
Yeah.
supposed to go to the Bay Area and that got blown up, and we were in Detroit to do Black Christmas, and then that got blown up, and I had booked some other dates in the Midwest as part of that, and we just like I just keep hemorrhaging money, and like
Mm,
we are losing everything we set up to. I shouldn't share this because it's like
no.
punk rock bowling hasn't happened yet, but I mean, our drummer Candace left the band in January, and I was just like, I think maybe this is like not meant to happen. Um, but we had a great show on Friday, and we
Mhm.
have this punk rock bowling opportunity, and I was just like, boy, it's gonna suck having to cancel those, but um we didn't.
Yeah.
We've been playing with this guy Daniel Frazier who came from a band called Transit that was a big emo band um in like the 2010s. And he's an amazing drummer and like we had about a month together with this guy and had like our first kind of season of regular practice and
Yeah.
like really really benefited from that. And yeah, so I was kind of ready to be like, don't if this isn't a thing anymore. But then the last like I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks has been very affirming.
There we go.
And
Yep.
we're excited again, so
Well, I recall, and I don't know if you remember me, uh, like in mid to, like August or September 2023 when you came up for the solo like electric performance at Guilty Party's last show before
yeah.
Rosie and them headed north. And we were chatting for a bit, and you were just at that time you were just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue with this.
Yeah.
And but it was but then like I saw you formed Reckoner, and I'm like, well, it looks like it's going to give it a go, and I'm really happy about that part, and I hope it continues. Everyone, pay for your Reckoner music from Bandcamp or whatever, stream it all you
Yeah.
can, so they can become financially independent and keep doing this.
Oh my
Uh,
God. Yes.
but it's
Thank you.
yeah, so it's well, I hope everything does work out. I hope punk rock bowling does work out.
Thanks.
It's still this weekend, a couple days away.
I know there's still time.
Yeah. Uh, so I know we talked a little bit about your art and everything, and I know that you recently put together a kind of mock pinball machine for the Smoking Pope's new album. Lovely stuff.
Oh, that
And you,
album is so good.
yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's weird because I think about as we talked before in the green room. It's weird to think about like I one time we went over to the caterer household, and I don't know if Eli was even in the band yet. And Josh and I played chess in his room with uh, Thin Lizzy playing while his mom made sloppy joes for everyone. And
wow.
I'm like thinking about that, and I'm like, wow, that was a long time
Oh
ago.
my God.
Uh,
That's
but
adorable.
it's so it's yeah, it's really great. And I did an interview with them when they came through San Francisco with the Get Up Kids on tour, and they told me at the time like a lot of stuff about lovely stuff that they couldn't release just yet.
Yeah.
And Mike hinted that you had done the mock pinball machine. So can you talk a little bit about how that came about? Like, did they approach you knowing your stuff,
Yeah.
or okay?
Yeah, so I met Mike first from Live from the Rock Room.
Hmm.
Um, and then we got to do some Pope stuff when I was in Bad Cop, and like I have been a Pope's fan you know, since Born to Quit came out.
Hmm.
Um, So, and they're so lovely.
Yeah.
Like funny that they named the album that. And yeah, and then he reached out to me maybe, or we were chatting or something about them coming through on that tour. And he was like, well, maybe we want to talk to you about artwork. And so I had a phone call with Josh and Mike about it and just kind of interviewed them. And I knew Mike was really into pinball. And then so I was kind of like, what if we did like a pinball thing for this? And yeah, we I had like pages of notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, and then they gave me the record and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. I mean, I did get to listen to it like 1 million times
Right.
while I was working on it, but it was also just like it was like this was all the files were different formats, so I couldn't just like let it rip,
Mm.
and I was like trying to play it for myself in order to like, you know, um, but yeah, when it finally came out, I was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's so
Yeah.
satisfying and I can just like play it. But yeah, I woke up with that stuff in my head for like a month.
I know. It happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh, so good. Yeah, so then I was like, I don't know, we talked end of last year about it and I was like, I'm a little crazy. I'll do it in January. I have nothing. School doesn't start until end of January and then like January everything caught fire
Hmm.
and like it got crazy and like there was like a lot of like relief efforts and like it just was very disruptive and then um also I had all my supplies in my garage. This is a new place that I'm living in and like I've never had a winter here and like everything was like wet. Like I worked
Oh,
with a lot of like cardboard and masonite and like so then when things stopped burning, I like went to work and like I was like trying to get this to work out of cardboard because I was like trying to make it out of recycled materials and like that was not happening.
oh no, no.
Um Also the size of this and like the fact that it couldn't be so a lot of my stuff is like kind of movable and I'll take a photo of these like dioramas, but this because it was a play field and like a machine, I couldn't like move things and arrange them and therefore they all had to like be integrated. So it was like it was this like kind of bad chemical reaction of like me being experimental and like weather and like a new place and like the specifics of the project. And so I just kept having to like call them and be like, okay, next week, like I'll have it by next week. You know what I mean? And then like
Yeah.
I just had to like I literally, and I haven't told them this either, but like I approached and began and failed this project like 3 times,
Oh, geez,
top to
yeah.
bottom, which is crazy. Usually it's like I'll be like, okay, this way isn't working. We're gonna like, but I like it was like, no, completely
Mhm.
not. Also, this completely does not work. And also this completely does not work.
Wow.
So ultimately it was like it's like made of like new masonite, all new materials, which is like
Hmm.
not how I usually do things. And like
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
it was just I was like very it was like a metaphor for this year, kind of.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
guess
say.
I should take away from it like, well, then you could still have positive results, you know?
Mhm.
Um, just it's just not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go.
Right.
So, and even then, like my friend Leah took the photo of it because I was like the fastest way to get this finally done is to not be the person that photographs it. So
Mhm.
I had a professional photograph, and like, but then it's like also, if I hadn't run into all of that stuff, I think I would have like probably would have done things differently. But I mean, like a
Yeah,
deadline is really what determines
right.
everything. So
So did you get any like in progress photos of the ones that failed? Did you like
it
keep
wasn't even photographable. I mean,
Oh, we didn't.
it was
Oh,
like there was like one thing that I was wrong about with the cover is like the scoreboard like kind of back
yeah.
glass, and I was like I'm gonna I'm gonna make it look like glass because I'm good with spray paint, and I had some pretty good results recently doing some stuff on like Duralar, and I was like, okay, so I'll like paint it kind of like they did, and then light it. It should work,
Yeah.
transparent color, and like it did not work, and
Oh,
like it was like the stencil wasn't working. I was cutting things out. I was like, so
yeah.
I was like, we're gonna have to just make it look, like again, I had to keep reminding myself, like, it's a photograph, it's not a real thing, so like how can you get this to like, and then one of the funny things about the back glass too is like I had purchased all this like under counter LED strip lighting
hmm
to do this, and I was like, I bought two packages, like one for the play field and one for the back glass, and I was like, I'm always kind of like maybe this will work. You know what I mean? And so I was like, maybe I can set them up together and we can get a photo of the whole machine for like the insert or something like that. But like last minute putting this stuff together, somebody had like robbed the package that I bought of like the functional component.
Oh no.
So I had only one. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well then we
Yeah.
can't get a photo of them
No,
together. Like,
no.
but it was just like I was like I don't know. My housemate is also an artist, and he was like, "Is it every morning?" He was like, "Is it done yet?" And I was like, "No." And you're not going to believe what happened. Like it was like just yeah. Anyway, it
Yeah.
was like very challenging, and I never told the guys because I was like, I feel like maybe I should like show them all the failed attempts. I told them I was going to make them like a video of the thing because the
Mhm.
photo doesn't really show you the
What it's
object,
doing.
you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Well, I've been there. Like
Yeah.
I was like, so I've been suffering like a little bit of a thumb issue, and now I
Oh,
am in this
no.
hard brace. And I was like, was trying all the beginning of this year to try to get like a watercolor to work. And I was like, I tried, like, I got like three-fourths of the way through it, like six or seven times. And
Yeah.
this is like not cheap paper. And finally, I'm just, no, this one isn't working. And throw it away or set it aside. And like, finally, I give up and I just took a break because like my thumb was like bothering me so much that it was impacting what I was doing. So I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to stop and go away with that. So I know what it's like, and but it would be funny if you did get pictures, because then if they had any outtakes or tracks they didn't put on the final LP, they could release
Oh,
them as an EP with the stuff that didn't
yeah,
work.
right. Here's the bonus material. The back
Yeah.
of it is like very funny.
Well,
Um,
I think I saw a picture of like all the lights and the light, like the wiring, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, like
it
that's
was,
neat.
I just, what is it that you're not liking about your watercolor?
Um, it just wasn't resonating.
Okay.
It just wasn't resonating. And so I finally, like, once I got into this thing, I started working on a different one, that's almost all going to be like wash for like clouds and blue sky.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't like the first version, so I set it aside, started another one, didn't like that, set it aside, started a third one, didn't like that, set it aside. And then I looked back at the first version, I'm like, that was it.
Yeah.
So, but then I like did things to it that I didn't like I used it kind of like as a sample sheet. And I'm like, oh, well, now I got to start over again. But I got to remember how I did that one in the first place. So we'll see what happens. I'll
I
show it to you
feel,
when I'm
yeah,
done.
watercolor is almost like making bread. Like it's like so, it's wild and you have
It
no,
is. And
like, yeah.
yeah, and I'm not I didn't start doing watercolors till like 2019 when I took a night class, and I hadn't done them since junior high art class because
Yeah.
I could never get them to work. And for me, if I can't get something to work the first time, it's very like, oh, I'm not going to try then. But then I
Yeah.
took this class, and like the original teacher died a week before it started, so they brought in some oil painter, and but he was really good at teaching. And he like, I'm like, okay, now I'll do it. So I started doing like a bunch of, to be fair, like giant robots and Japanese anime stuff, but
Do
people
it.
make
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
You
So
mess with gouache?
what's that?
Do you ever mess with gouache?
I started. I got one. I actually got a blue to work on for the sky. So
Okay.
I'm gonna work on that and see what happens.
Yeah.
I might do a combo of the two.
Yeah. That's what I
and
was thinking.
yeah, and we'll see where that plays out. Yeah. Um, okay, so we're getting close to just wrapping up, but I wanted to ask you if you thought of any bands in the back of your head that our readers or listeners here may not be listening to, but maybe they should. Of course, besides your
Hmm. Besides my own.
own. Well, of course.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm in Long Beach and there's a bunch of good bands here, and a lot of them don't necessarily like tour. You know how
Hmm.
there's like touring bands and nobody goes to see them at home, and then there's like home bands and they don't go on tour.
Yeah.
Not that they don't ever go on tour, but there's like I'm wearing a self-improvement shirt that's a local band that's really good.
Okay.
Um, I'm sure they tour. They probably have some big stuff coming up. And then I always kind of brag about Hex Code. That's like I think the coolest band in Long Beach. But
Okay.
um, oh my gosh, my two best friends are married to each other and living in the desert, and they both have amazing taste and are the weirdest people ever. And they just finally started a band together called Ideal Body. And like I've only seen video of like shows, but I know it's gonna be like my favorite band.
All
So
right. All
yeah, if
right.
you're in the desert in 29 Palms, go spend money at their bottle shop called Scorpion Lollipop and try to book their band Ideal Body.
There we go. Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
thank you very much for taking this brief time to talk about Reckoner, pinball machines,
yeah.
mock-ups, and more. And we hope you have best of luck in your relationship.
Thank
Knock
you.
on wood. And
I know, right?
yeah, and thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so that was a really fun interview for me to do with Jenny. She's really nice and a kick. If you heard in the interview, I met her when she came up to Oakland like a year and a half ago, 2 years to play a solo electric set for the Guilty Party kind of last show kind of gig, and I got to meet her then. She's a lot of fun. She's really nice.
Yeah, I had no idea that she was as into the arts as you are, but it was awesome to hear all about that.
Yeah, it was, I knew that she did it. I didn't know she like taught it. And I'd only very recently found out that she had done the mock-up pinball machine for the new Smoking Popes album. So that was really fun because I have a connection with the Popes and she has a connection, so we got to chit chat about that a little bit as well. So yeah, well, I think that's it for today's podcast. Bad Dad, once again, thanks for joining us here, and we look forward to casting at you soon.
Sounds good. I'll talk to everybody soon.
All right, great. Everyone have a good time, stay safe, and we'll be in your podcasts eventually. All right, bye.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.